the last couple of weeks have really proved how behind the Australian screen industry is to particularly the US and the UK markets. It is getting a little bit embarrassing now. So in today's YouTube video, we are going to dive into what is happening in the arena in which we are playing in. Spoiler alert, we are behind in content. We are also looking at what came out of South by Southwest Texas and looking at ITV and BBC's YouTube strategy. Again, we are very behind here. We are going to focus on content over quotas. Yes, I said it. And we're going to take a look at the Australian films that have been released this year and how they've let themselves down. It has been a wild couple of weeks, and I think it's wild in a good way. Sometimes you need to force your hand, and as the Australian industry, we're very slow to adapt, we're very slow to innovate, but listen up because we are so far behind that it is embarrassing. Now, let's just start with looking at what's happening in our arena because we are up against and we are competing against every other TV series ever made and being rolled out. So you are either living under a rock or your entire digital feeds have been full of White Lotus. Have a look at the amount of content they have. Now, bear in mind that they have a lot of media support. So a lot of this video content is coming from the media outlets. We do not have that advantage here in Australia. So we need to be the creators of our own content. The best of the week, and I'm actually even going to call it so far the best of the year, is adolescence. The main point here is that they have so much behind the scenes content. They have so much content that it looks to me like they have had a full-time digital role on set. Now, this plays really heavily into their strategy. So from day one, having a one shot per episode model is a really big selling point for them. And so they understood that they need to cut through to audiences. How are they going to do that? They're going to explain how they made the series. Another really clever way that they have reached their audience is by getting a vast range of people posting behind the scenes. So I'm seeing content from so many different avenues. I'm seeing content from the filmmakers, from digital media outlets, but also from the crew. It is such an effective way to cut through because everything is interest-based and it's based on the algorithm. So if you gave your crew the opportunity to film and you said to them, just film as much as you want, keep it all on your phone, send it through to a Dropbox link, and then you helped your crew roll out the content around launch, honestly, chef's kiss. It's such a good strategy. And it means that you've got so much content because I don't want to see the same video twice. And what I'm noticing with adolescents is there's so many different angles, so much content. And so this is the standard, guys. This is the standard. And we're seeing here in Australia, you might do one EPK day. And everyone's in the same costumes and it's the same video. It looks like the same video except the words that are coming out of their mouth are different. It's not going to cut through. It's absolutely not going to cut through. And so if you have a look here, I love their strategy. Not only do they have content, guys, content, you're not doing it. You're not filming enough content on set. I see you. I see you in production. I see you TV series that filmed last year and are going to launch this year. You are launching in this market. You are going to launch your little Australian TV show with no content. You're going to have a couple of stills with a clapper that says, Day one, filming. No one cares. You need content. Okay? It's so important that I strongly believe that if you are using taxpayer money to make a series and you are not adequately finding your audience, you should have your funding stripped. I'm serious, because it is a waste of money. You are not going to get an audience. You are absolutely not going to get an audience. And it is not the role of the streamer. It is not the role of the network to support your product because you own that product and you're the one that's going to have to go sell it internationally. So you need a strategy in pre-production so you can capture the right content. Obviously, I've worked as a producer. I know a lot of crew. So I know every single production that's shooting, I'm asking the question, do they have digital? And I see you, kids TV show filming right now without a YouTube strategy. Outrageous. It's 2025 and you don't have a YouTube strategy. How are you getting to your audience? And we're going to talk about that really important aspect next when we look at what came out of South by Southwest in Texas, because a really big part of the BBC's strategy for children is having a YouTube page. The content. How are you going to fill your audience's feed so they then are enticed to watch your show? No one is natively living on those platforms anymore. No one just goes home and turns Stan on. No one goes home and just lives in Netflix and all they do is live in Netflix. They don't live in these apps and they don't live on TV stations anymore. So that's old analog, that's old media where you knew where your audience were. The audiences are fragmented, which means you need to be where your audience is and you need video content. Why do you need video content? Because your product is video. The amount of stills I see. A still image, not only does it not perform as high as video, but it's not your product. Your product is video. So let's just have a look at what the competition are doing at the moment. Now, this is the market that you're about to launch in. And bear in mind that these series were filmed long ago. So they are years ahead of what we're doing here. Now, I've been screaming from the LinkedIn rooftop for over a year. Content, 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 YouTube. But no one is implementing it. And if you want to survive the next 5 years, you have to be on YouTube. Like, it's a non-negotiable. If you're a production company, you have to be on YouTube. It's essential. You will not survive. Your audience are on YouTube. But how, why, I don't know. Get a strategy in place. Call me, text me, bring someone in. It doesn't have to be me, but get on YouTube. Now, this leads me to my next area that I want to cover. And Evan Shapiro, who I absolutely adore and admire, he did a panel at South by Southwest, Texas, and he released a couple of podcast episodes with the panelists. Now, it was fascinating. So I'm just looking at my notes here. First and foremost, his episode, and I'll link to the episodes here. His interview with Nikki Sheard from BBC talked about the importance of the Bluey YouTube strategy. It is a no-brainer now that if you are making kids content, that you have to be on YouTube. You have to. And again, if you don't have a YouTube strategy as part of your kids show, you should not be getting funding. Screen Australia, Vic Screen, Screen New South Wales. Don't fund productions that are not even trying to get in front of an audience. Oh, it's on the ABC. Literally, no one's going to watch it. Seriously, no one's going to watch it. What a waste of time, energy, money. Which leads me to my next point, ABC. Earlier in the year, we heard from Kim Williams, we want younger audiences. Now, if only there was a way. If only there was a way to access audiences that are not natively on ABC. Geez, what a conundrum. Have a look at what ITV are doing, what the BBC are doing. Have a look at what Channel 4 are doing. They have found a whole new audience on YouTube and they have monetized it. We have to be innovating. If anyone from the ABC is listening, for the love of God, get a YouTube strategy. Just get a YouTube strategy. One of my favorite comments that came out of Evan Shapiro's chat with Ruth Berry from ITV Studios is the fact that they're using old IP to test on YouTube and they are having great success. Think about all of the old IP that the Australian screen industry has. Stuff that's out of license, stuff that's sitting in a back catalogue on like 9 Now. There's so much that we could be testing. And so I ask you, production companies, if you have any series that are not licensed that you can play with, put it on YouTube. Start learning who your audience are. Start testing your YouTube strategy, because if you don't start now, you're going to miss the boat. There has never been a bigger audience on YouTube. So again, I really, really implore you to go and watch those podcasts. They're 8 minutes each, and they are so, so fascinating. I'm going to say it. Content over quotas, particularly for producers and production companies. Let SPA deal with the quotas. In my opinion, it is going to almost be impossible to implement the quotas onto international streamers. It's about the audience. We need audiences, and we are not focusing on our audience. We are doing everything backwards. And so what do I mean by content over quotas? I mean that you have to be creating digital content as a priority, because if you're not actively trying to build an audience and to get an audience and to get your ratings up and to get your views up and to prove to the streamers that there is an appetite for Australian drama or Australian documentary or Australian films, how can you go to the government and say, please help us, please, we need quotas. We're doing absolutely nothing to help ourselves, like literally nothing, but give us a handout. It's not going to happen. You must stand on your own 2 feet. We must be an industry that is self-sustainable. And I'm sick of hearing we don't have the budgets. If you have an iPhone, you have the opportunity to create a digital strategy. Films, it's dire. Just because you are posting online does not mean you have a strategy. You must have a strategy. A digital strategy to get people into the cinema. What I'm seeing a lot of is, oh yeah, we'll do this and we'll post it. It's not forming part of a strategy, and so then it's not effective. If you are trying to get people to go to the cinema, put a link to buy tickets. Remove the friction. Hey, come see our film. Oh, okay. So what? Go Google film near me. No one's going to do it. Literally no one's going to do it. Make it easy. Look at this. It couldn't be easier for us to be like, hey, come see our film. See that link there? That's going to take you straight to your local cinema. Enjoy. Before they know it, in 2 clicks, they've purchased a ticket. In 2 clicks. Stop. Hey, please come see our film. We're so desperate for people to see our film. It's embarrassing. You are a business. You do not see other businesses operate like that. You see other businesses put their time and energy into their customers, and they're creating a community, and they're putting resources into getting their community and their customers to go to the website and to click purchase. Like, there's so much infrastructure in every other industry around the customer's journey, and we're just like, please come see our film. Like, it's so bad, particularly for kids' films. Like, quite simply, if you're not making digital content, how do you expect kids to go to the cinema and watch your film? Like, just not having an adequate digital strategy for film, it's so hard to get people in the cinemas anyway. I can't understand why it's not front of mind. And one of the biggest problems that I've seen is that all of the Australian films launched so far this year, none of them had content. None of them had the right content. I don't want to see crew just mucking about. It's not gonna get me to watch the film. What do you want? What do you want to achieve with that? And it baffles my mind as to how you think you're going to sell tickets if you are not where your audience are, if you're not talking to your audience. We have a direct to audience relationship now. We have platforms to take us directly to our audience. And honestly, this old media mindset that we are still operating in is going to completely ruin our industry. Honestly, I'm going to keep screaming from my LinkedIn rooftop to create digital content. But unfortunately, so far this year, there has been zero digital content. And I really encourage the decision makers at the funding bodies to look at the path to audience. And if these series do not have an adequate strategy, you should not fund them. You are wasting our money completely, and it's embarrassing. And also to all of you who put together a marketing plan for your Screen Australia submission, how about you dust that bad boy off and actually use it? You get your funding, you throw it away. See ya. Marketing line, we're going to use that for the producer's lunch. We're going to use that for the wrap party. How about you use it for marketing? If you've watched this entire video, well done. Have a lie down. I know it's a lot, but also drop me a note and say, yes, I hear you. I'm struggling. We need help. Have the conversation. Just pick up the phone and say, what should we do? We've got no money. We've got no idea. Whatever it is, come talk to me, because there are ways to help get to your audience and to make money. Do we want to make money? Yes, we should be making money. So please get in touch. You can email me, LinkedIn. Most of you have my number. Give me a call.